It was a long time ago. I remember these days. I used to always think about them in a certain way that no one ever had before. I guess I can do a quick breaking the fourth wall. So breaking the fourth wall, I'm actually telling the backstory of me telling the backstory. So this isn't the present, this is a backstory of me telling my backstory. Now, the reason why there wouldn't be people here, because breaking the fourth wall, technically you could say, okay, I'm not getting into that, but this was a long time ago, back in the first war I was ever in. That was, of course, the one that we would all know very well as the best one I think we ever had. But not in the way you think. I don't mean best in that way. I mean best in, that it did things to me the least. I don't know. It's getting a little bit harder. This war was known as World War I. That was the war that had things to do with, I don't know, there were like some army frogs or something like that. You know, some pre-beta frogs prototypes before they came out in 2005. Obviously, this all takes place in the 1920s, like 1926 or whenever it happened. 1928, I don't know. You know, most of it was just about frogs and guns and firing and marching and shouting at each other. And after that would lead to something else, but I just want to talk about the war first. So, I decided in 1919 that I wanted to go to the, what do they call it, the army, I think. It's getting a lot wild. Okay, I can't remember the terms. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna keep on going, it's alright? Okay. My hat's getting a little bit stuck under here. It's not a good sign. I think I'll be okay. Anyways, what I was saying about my whole things. I was born on August 5th. That's right, August 5th, 1900 actually. Yeah, August 5th, 1900. That's when I was born. So that means, yes, I am exactly 110 years old. I know, isn't that crazy? I'm 110 years old. Breaking the fourth wall, not in this past thing where I'm talking about my past. I'd actually be 119 years old. Jeez, that's crazy. Wow, 119, that's insane. But, yeah. Crazy there and stuff. So, yeah, born August 5th, 1900. You'll never believe me, but trust me, you gotta believe me. Okay, so, that meant, yeah, when I was 19, I signed up to go to the army. And of course, I chose the army. When I signed up to the army, I meant military. You know, just generally. And then I went to the army. Now, originally, I was a general because I thought that'd be the right thing. I was a general for the Marines. Yeah, isn't that good? General for the Marines, yeah. You know, I thought it was pretty good at first. I was getting some training, lots and lots of training. It was a good thing there was food for me because for some other people, there was barely anything. They weren't keeping it that fair, which wasn't that cool, to be honest. If I just had to say anything about it, but I just want to explain something real quick. I may have the food, but I barely had any drink, so I had to sometimes drink my spit. I'd also have to go to drink fluids that would come out of me. Yeah, that's not a good sign to think about or talk about. But it was a very serious matter, so I had to do it. So don't take it as a bad joke. Take it more as that it was for survival, okay? It wasn't even meant to be a joke. Meant to be about my backstory, because that's what this is about. You know, there was an old friend of mine from the Marines. Obviously, he wasn't a general, but he was like some sort of leader. He was like higher than my level. I was a general, but there was someone higher than me. I don't know what his job name was for in the Marines, but he was always on the same ship as me, I'll tell you that. His name was like Sailor Seymour, I think. Yeah, Sailor Seymour. He was a black and white hamster. But they respected him. There was no sort of racism things with these demi-atoms. They're just not any of that. We just got lucky, unlike those humans, but we got it good. And, yeah, he was with me, Sailor Seymour. We were the best of friends. He helped me out so much because, to be honest, when I was in the Marines, I liked it at first, but after a month or so, I really, really hated it. It wasn't that it was hard, it was just that it was scary and sometimes boring, and I would just get hurt a lot and too much to the point where I could end up dying. I mean, you gotta get hurt in the military, it just happens, but I was getting too much of it at the point of there could have been death at any time, which, again, that happens with the military already, but this was just like too close every time, you know? Yeah. Yeah, but he really helped me out. He made me calm down from being too scared. He made me not bored. He was funny. He was smart. He was very athletic, way more than me. Yeah, even when I was 19, I still was not. I mean, I wasn't that fit. I mean, now, look at me, now I'm moving good, but back then I was a little bit on the chubby side, but that'd slowly go away once I got into World War I, but, yeah, he always helped out. But then I quit the Marines, so I never saw him again, but I always remember him for me being in the Marines, because he was just such a big help in my life. And he was really good at saying quotes and stuff like that, too. He was just so good at that, man. Yeah. Never saw him again after that, though, you know, like, was getting to there. I don't know if I'll ever see him again, who knows. Maybe one day he'll find this place and so, you know, get out of that whole thing. I don't know, I mean, he'd be really old, but maybe because of how smart he is, he'll find a way to give himself to another age of some sorts. But that was just the Marines of my lifetime in the 1919 all the way to, like, 2022 about. Yeah, I was not there for that long at all. Just a few years and that's it. How about that there? Yeah. Anyways, I think we should move on to our next thing, which is World War I. World War I was one of the most, like I said, easiest if I had to pick. It was a very interesting war. I thought it was really interesting, at least. My other people that were with me did not think that, but they still did what they had to do. But I just thought it was very good for what I was doing. Had a lot of pride and proudness, and I was ready. I was gonna do it for my mom and my dad. Too bad they're, well, my mom died from old age, and my dad died from, you guessed it, old age. Ding, 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 yeah. It was good deaths if it had to be anything else, but I still didn't like it. And of course, they both had to die on the same day, the same hour, the same minute, the same second, the same millisecond. It was very, very weird, but it made me double sadness when I was in World War I. That was the only bad time in it, because everything else, I was just very good at what I was doing there. Things weren't too difficult. Things were a lot more straightforward and simple, I guess. Because I got smarter because of, you know, Sailor Seymour and the Marines. My hat still being a bit of a problem, I'm sorry about that, but though when I was in World War I ended up breaking the poor old something on me, which caused me to have to get this walker, so I got it early. Only when I was very young, which, well, I got made fun of for that, but honestly, I would make fun of myself for that, too. That's pretty weird. Yeah. Why would I need to get a walker if it was something like on my arms, which it was, I think, or my back, one of the two. I guess if it was my back, it's not really that much of a weird thing, but my arms, I don't know, because it's meant to be, walker's meant to be if your legs are broke or your back, but I don't know, but other stuff with World War I, it had some not so vicious enemies. They were just a couple of really mean frogs that were just trying to find all these weapons but not using them correctly, but definitely knew how to build them, but they just didn't use them right. But we knew how to do it. We got the good weapons and they worked right. We knew how to use them right. We did it right. And it lasted a long time, but we really did overtake the victory, I think. Us Frogz here. You know, Frogz USA. Frogz United States. Frogz America. Frogz, yeah. Of course, we were against whichever Frogz world it was, continent. I don't remember. Maybe it was Europe or something. I think it may have been Russia. I don't even remember. It's been getting so long ago. I don't know who the enemy was in World War I, but I'll remember it maybe. I think it was Russia. Let's just say it was Russia, because, be honest, I don't think I want to keep on trying to think of what it was. Just so you know. Yeah. Ribbit. That's not it, though. Let me just tell you that there was one of my favorite foods at World War I. I liked it a lot. It was, something, some sort of weird yogurt thing. I liked it. I thought it was very memorable taste that I'll never forget in my life. Yeah, I had that every day. I didn't have anything else. That's why I thought the food supply for me was good enough for everyone else, because everyone else didn't like the yogurt, but I did. That's a good thing. I would just like to mention also that a lot of the people that were with me, I saw a lot of them go down because for them it was pretty hard. It's a good thing I was doing it so good, you know? I'm such a good one with this stuff. We'll get back to World War I when I take a bit of a 5-minute breather and then we can get back into it, alright? Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.